The Super Bowl champion used to challenge the college football all-stars to play them after every season. And you won't believe why it doesn't still happen today. See, back in 1933, the NFL had a problem. College football was way more popular. The biggest games would draw over 100,000 fans. Compare that to some NFL teams at the time who couldn't even get a few thousand people to show up to a game. So they needed a way to bring more fans to professional football. And this guy right here had the plan to make that happen. Now meet Arch Ward. He was a sports writer for the Chicago Tribune back then, and he came up with two genius ideas for professional sports all-star games. The first was the mid-season MLB All-Star game between the American League and National League, and his vision for that has now been going on for over 90 years. However, the other game he created, I believe, is much more entertaining. Now, it was called the Chicago Charities College Football All-Star Game, and the idea was every summer leading into the next football season, the first preseason game would be between the defending Super Bowl champions and the best college football players that had just graduated. This game was held for the first time in 1934, and 80,000 people showed up at Soldier Field to watch. The college team would get a couple weeks to practice together, and that first year it happened in 34, the game actually ended in a tie. It then continued for over 40 years. In 1935, future President Gerald Ford played in it. In 41, Jackie Robinson, who was a football star at UCLA, played. This game was must-see TV. In many years, over 100,000 people were there in attendance. In 42 games, the college All-Stars managed to win 9 and tie 2. In 1963, when Vince Lombardi's Green Bay Packers lost to the college All-Stars, he said it was the most embarrassing loss of his career. And unfortunately, in 1976, after the game was played in a massive thunderstorm, the NFL finally decided it was time to end this game forever. It was the first time the NFL ever stopped the game early because of weather. Now, at that point in time, even though the game was very interesting to fans, the NFL decided it was no longer worth it. Teams were mad their best rookies weren't practicing with them in training camp, and instead they were separate with the college all-stars. And many years, good players got injured in this game, and it ruined the seasons for some teams. Now, my question for you guys is, what if this game came back? How big of a blowout would it be? How many points would the Kansas City Chiefs score against the 2024 top rookies? And if you want to hear more football stories like this all season long, just drop me a follow.